It will take 8 minutes of your 24 hours, but it will definitely be a game changer for you. If you want to lose someone faster and make them disinterested in you, then start cursing them in your mind. But if you don't, then follow what I'm about to tell you for the next 24 hours and witness a change. Most people believe that manifestation is about techniques, affirmations, and doing certain rituals at the right time. They think if they repeat a sentence enough times or visualize hard enough, things will automatically shift in their reality. But what they ignore is the one thing that is silently running all day long, shaping everything without their awareness. That is their inner conversations. You may sit for 10 minutes and affirm love, respect, or attention, but for the remaining 23 hours and 50 minutes, you are internally arguing, complaining, judging, and mentally reacting to people. Then you wonder why nothing changes. Manifestation is not what you do occasionally. It is what you consistently think from. And if your inner conversations are negative, reactive, or filled with silent curses towards others, you are unknowingly pushing your desires further away, even if you are doing everything else right. Now, understand this deeply. Inner conversations are not just random thoughts. They are your dominant state speaking. They are the script you are constantly playing inside your mind about yourself, about others, and about how life is treating you. And this script is what gets reflected back to you in your outer world. Not your wishes, not your hopes, not even your affirmations, your inner conversations. Think about the last time someone ignored your message or did not respond the way you expected. Outwardly, you may have stayed calm, maybe even told yourself it's okay. But inside your mind, what was happening? You were probably saying things like, they don't care about me, or why are they acting like this? Or even worse, mentally blaming or criticizing them. That inner reaction is what I mean by cursing them in your mind. You are not saying it out loud, but you are energetically assigning them a role, a behavior, and an identity in your reality. And here's the truth most people don't want to accept. Whatever you repeatedly say about someone in your mind, they will eventually show up that way. Not because they are like that, but because you're consistently seeing them from that state. Your mind is not just thinking about reality, it is creating it. And your inner conversations are the most direct expression of that creation. This is why Neville Goddard emphasized thinking from the end. Because when you are thinking from the end, your inner conversations automatically change. You stop reacting to what is happening, and you start internally living as if your desire is already fulfilled. But most people do the opposite. They react first, then try to fix it later with affirmations. They spend the entire day mentally arguing, feeling hurt, overanalyzing situations, and then at night they sit and say, I am loved, I am chosen. That is not living in the end. That is trying to cover a dominant negative state with a temporary positive statement. Your inner conversations reveal your true state, not your affirmations. So if you really want to change your reality, you need to become aware of how you are talking inside your mind throughout the day, especially when it comes to people and relationships, because this is where most damage happens. You may think you want love, attention, respect, or commitment from someone. But if your inner dialogue is constantly criticizing them, doubting them, or assuming the worst about them, you are literally programming your reality to give you more of that. When you mentally say things like, they don't care, they always ignore me, they are losing interest, you are not just expressing frustration. You are selecting a version of them and persisting in that version. And the more you persist, the more real it becomes. This is why I said in the beginning, if you want to lose someone faster, keep cursing them in your mind. Keep arguing with them internally. Keep replaying negative scenarios. Keep assuming they are wrong, careless, or distant. You will see how quickly your outer world starts matching that. But if you don't want that, then something has to change. And that change does not start outside. It starts with your inner conversations. For the next 24 hours, just observe how you are thinking about people. Not judging yourself, just observing. Notice how quickly your mind jumps to negative interpretations. Notice how often you create imaginary arguments. Notice how you assume meanings behind simple actions. This awareness alone will shock you. Because most of the time, you are not reacting to reality. You are reacting to your interpretation of reality. And that interpretation is shaped by your inner conversations. Now, here is what you need to start doing instead. Every time you catch yourself having a negative inner conversation about someone, pause and shift it, not forcefully, not aggressively, but consciously. Replace it with a version that aligns with what you actually want. If you want love, start hearing loving conversations in your mind. If you want respect, start hearing respectful responses. If you want attention, start imagining that they enjoy talking to you, that they value you, that they think about you positively. This is not about lying to yourself. This is about choosing the version of reality you want to experience. Because the truth is, you are always having inner conversations anyway. The only question is, are they working for you or against you? And remember this clearly. Your mind does not care whether something is real or not. It only responds to what is consistently impressed upon it. So if you consistently entertain negative inner dialogues, your mind will treat them as truth and reflect them back into your experience. But if you consistently shift your inner conversations to match your desired reality, your mind will begin to accept that as normal. And once it becomes normal inside, it must appear outside. This is why persistence matters. Not in affirmations alone, but in your daily thinking, in your casual thoughts, in those silent moments where you are just talking to yourself, because those moments are not small, they are everything. Your inner conversations are the seeds of your future. Every thought, every mental sentence, every imaginary conversation is planting something. And over time, those seeds grow into your experiences. So if you keep planting doubt, fear, and negativity, you will harvest more of that. But if you start planting confidence, love, and positive assumptions, you will eventually experience that. It is not instant, but it is inevitable. And here's something very important. You do not need to control every single thought. That is not the goal. The goal is to gently redirect yourself whenever you become aware, because awareness is power. The moment you notice, I am mentally arguing again, you already have the opportunity to change it. And that one shift, repeated over time, completely transforms your state. Now imagine this. For the next 24 hours, you refuse to curse anyone in your mind. You refuse to assume the worst. You refuse to mentally fight, complain, or criticize. Instead, you choose to internally support, appreciate, and assume the best. Even if it feels unnatural at first, you still do it. What do you think will happen? At first, maybe nothing dramatic. But internally, something will start changing. You will feel lighter. You will feel less reactive. Your emotional state will stabilize. And then slowly, your outer reality will begin to reflect that shift. Because people are not responding to your words as much as they are responding to your state. And your state is shaped by your inner conversations. So if your state is calm, secure, and positive, people will naturally respond differently. Not because you force them, but because you change the version of reality you are operating from. This is the real practice of manifestation. Not just sitting and visualizing, but living differently in your mind throughout the day. Because your mind is the only place where creation actually happens. The outer world is just the result. So stop focusing only on what you see. Start focusing on what you are saying inside, because that is where everything begins. If your inner conversations are aligned with your desires, you don't have to chase anything. Things will start aligning on their own. But if your inner conversations are in conflict with your desires, no amount of techniques will help. Because in the end, your inner conversations always win. They are the dominant force. They are the script. They are the cause. So choose them wisely. And for the next 24 hours, just try this one thing. Stop cursing people in your mind. Start choosing better conversations. And watch how your reality begins to shift. I hope this helped you. Subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another golden nugget. Happy manifesting.